Getting views on YouTube is about more than just consistency. If you want long-lasting attention, you have to capture it with engaging video content. Let's talk about how to create engaging video content. You are in the right place because I'm going to show you how to hook your audience in the first 30 seconds of your videos, which means if they're likely to be hooked in at the beginning, they're more likely to watch to the end. And if you need help constructing an engaging video script, our favorite Disney Snow Queen can help you out. More on that in a moment. And if your viewers are engaged with your content, they can actually help your video's performance in more ways than one. I'll show you exactly what I mean later in this video. Much like any other piece of content that you want your audience to pay attention to, you want to try to hook them in the first 30 seconds of the video. Remember, people have short attention spans and there is so much noise on the internet already. It's our job to capture our audience's attention at the beginning, which means they'll be more likely to stay through to the end. So how do we do this? What's something that can capture their attention? Well, use your imagination. Maybe you do something funny or something that tugs at their heartstrings, something that's going to captivate them and pull on an emotion. Maybe you do some skits or sketch comedy, or maybe just an intriguing question. Think of commercials that you see on TV or your favorite movies or other ads that you see on social media and observe your behavior in response to that content. What is it that pulls you in? What do you like? What kind of content do you prefer to consume? If you can observe your behavior in the type of content that you like to consume, this might help you when you're creating your strategy for the kind of content you're going to create. Before you can figure out what that hook is going to be that's going to captivate your audience, you need to know your audience. Play into your target audience's pain points and the benefits that you're about to provide to them. And the only way you can know that is if you are really clear on your customer avatar. I think about the Old Spice ads. You know those commercials where Isaiah Mustafa was on a horse and he's in his towel and he's like making the jokes about him being on a horse and then being on a boat and he's holding up his Old Spice bottle of soap, but it's his comedy and the way that he's presenting himself in the videos that really captivates the audiences. You might think that to a male audience, the males are watching that thinking he's funny and he's fit, I want to be like him. And you could think that to an audience of females, they look at him and think he's funny and attractive and I want my husband to be like him. So think about that with your videos and what you want your audience to be thinking after viewing them. I want to hear from you. Do you think that you do a good job of using hooks in your marketing content right now? Whether it's emails, social media, captions, give yourself a personal rating from like 1 to 5 in the comments below and let me know why and what you're going to improve. If you need help creating an engaging video script, I have just the formula for you. I've actually made it into an acronym. I teased you at the beginning of this video that it's our favorite Snow Queen. Yes, the Disney Snow Queen, Elsa. And for these purposes, it's an acronym that I do not want you to let go. The acronym stands for Epiphany, Lesson, Story, and Application. All of your videos and really any piece of content should include all 4 of these, even if the application is your call to action. So before you create any piece of content, you want to think, what's the epiphany? What's the big takeaway that I want my audience to have when they leave this video? What's the thing that's that big aha moment or that memorable thing that they'll keep thinking about even long after the video's over? Your audience has false beliefs. They have limiting beliefs. They have objections to whatever the thing is you might be teaching. They have these stories for what they're telling themselves that they maybe can or cannot do based on previous experience. And it's our job to make our stories better than their stories. And that's where we want to reverse engineer the outcome by deciding what's the epiphany that I want to give them in this video. If you don't know what the epiphany is, you might just be rambling and talking in circles. So let's start by knowing what's the epiphany, what's the big thing that I want my audience to walk away from this video with. The L in Elsa is for lesson. Typically in your videos, you're going to give them some sort of takeaway of here's how you can implement this. Here's my advice for what you can do in your health or wealth or relationships, whatever your expertise is, that they can walk away with this epiphany and actual action steps or implementation steps to do something with that. But the best educators portray a lesson through a story. Think about it when you were in school. Probably your favorite teachers are the ones that you connected to the most because they told you stories. So if you can give those lessons, typically like morals to the story, through an emotional journey, some sort of a story that maybe they're listening to and think, that was me, or I relate to that? Or how do they know me so well? It's like they're in my head. I can think of one of my favorite entrepreneurs and a mentor of mine, Alex Sharfin, that when I listened to his podcast before I was ever a customer of his, I was just so captivated and intrigued. I thought that every single piece of content he put out, it's like he was speaking directly to me. It's like he was in my head and knew me so well. Well, it's because he studies his target demographic so specifically that he knows their pain points. He knows what their desires are so well that he can speak to it in a way that I was like, this guy knows me better than anything. And because of that, I trusted him so much that it was very easy to hand over my credit card when I found out what I could buy from him in the future. And the A in ELSA stands for application. So once you've gone through the lesson, the story, you've given them the epiphany, the next step is, what can they now do with it? Maybe the application is you want them to comment. Maybe you want them to go take away an exercise and you want them to go implement something in their lives. Or maybe it's go click on this link and opt in for this free ebook or video series, something that they can now take the next step in applying what you've just taught them and putting it into their life. I'm going to share with you one of my other favorite tips for encouraging engagement in your videos, but before I do, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit that red button below to get brand new content marketing strategies, business acceleration tips, and more straight to your YouTube feed 5 days a week. So we want to create engaging content, meaning that people are watching all the way through, they're actually hanging off of your every word, and that they're following through with the things that you might be prompting them to do. If you're saying, hey, like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel, ideally you want them to take action in that. If not, then they're just passive viewers and they might not become active buyers. So how do we encourage the engagement? Well, you just witnessed one. Let me break down for you what I just did. I just shared some value with you. I broke down the ELSA acronym, something now you can implement into your video content. And then I teased, I'm going to tell you the next strategy for how to create engaging content. But before I do, please subscribe to this channel. That was what I call an engagement break. So between these high-level pieces of content where I'm providing value, I ask for engagement. Sometimes if you wait until the end of the video, people have already gotten what they came here for. They know that the video is ramping down and they click off before they can even be prompted. So I like to put the engagement breaks in the middle of the content while people are still paying a lot of attention and they're actively watching the content. Make sure that you're always breaking up the content of your video with these requests for engagement, and they could be asking them to subscribe or asking them a question that they can answer in the comments. Now make sure when you do ask them a question, it's not just a yes or no answer, because if it's a yes or no answer, it's such a little effort and it's a little comment that you might not actually be able to develop a conversation from it. Ask them something that they want to share their experience on, or something that they can give an opinion. That way they can actually participate in a conversation, and it might inspire other conversations from other people seeing those comments and wanting to respond to it. If you're ready to take your content marketing to the next level and turn your content into an evergreen lead generation machine, then click the link below and reserve your spot in my next free training. This is the exact strategy that my 6, 7, and 8-figure clients use to maximize their cash flow through online content, and you could be next.